Hi, everybody. The movie begins with a bunch of kids sitting around watching TV and not just any show. Nah, they're glued to the screen watching that weirdly popular one, the Teletubbies. While they're sitting there totally zoned in, you can hear some grown-ups arguing in the background, talking kind of frantic-like. They're saying something's on its way, something bad. But soon as they realize the kids are listening, one of them rushes over and slams the door shut real quick. The kids just glance at each other, totally lost and confused right there. A woman comes barging in holding a younger boy. She drops him off with the group and tells the kids straight up, "Don't leave this room, no matter what happens." She don't give any reason, no explanation at all, just reinforces the locks and bolts, makes sure the place is sealed, then bolts out of there. Ain't long before strange sounds start creeping in from outside, thumps, glass shattering, screaming, the whole 9 yards. The kids freeze up, doing their best to keep quiet. One of them inches toward the door, curious, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And that's when he hears it. Something or someone's trying to break in. Then bam, the door bursts open and the damn zombies come storming in, caught off guard. The kids don't even know how to react. The one near the door is frozen in fear watching the creatures attack. Then he bolts. He sees his mom outside, looks like she's okay, runs to her, but when she spots a zombie nearby, she slams the door shut in his face to protect him. Shaking, the boy dashes upstairs, but there's more infected up there, nowhere safe. His own home's become a freaking nightmare. He runs the best he can, stumbling through the chaos, pushing past the wreckage till he somehow makes it outside. He don't stop, just keeps running with no real direction, feet pounding the pavement till he ends up in front of an old church. He steps inside, out of breath, and right there he sees his father, a priest, standing by the altar like he's been expecting him all along. No shock in his eyes, no fear either, just calm as the kid tries to explain the horror he just witnessed. The priest cuts him off. He's already made peace with it, says today's the day of judgment. Say it like it's written in stone. Then he hands over his gold rosary, places it in the kid's hand, and tells him to go hide. The boy does what he's told, and just then the dead crash through the doors like a damn hurricane. The priests don't flinch. He stands tall in his faith, arms open wide. He don't run. He's taken turned, and soon he's one of them. Just another wandering shell. The kid tucked away in the shadows waits till the moment's right, then he bolts, runs out of that place without looking back, clutching the rosary like it's all he's got left, and that's how it all went down. The rage virus taking over the UK, spreading like wildfire. Europe cut off the whole island, locked it down hard, total quarantine, no one in, no one out. It's been 28 years since. Cities are dust. Nature took over, survivors are scattered, living rough, and in one of those little outposts, a father wakes his son, tells him today's the big day. The boy, Spike, gets up quick, grabs his bag. Outside, men and teens are doing the same, gearing up, each holding something they cobble together: spears, knives, bows, whatever they manage to make. No guns here. Everything's handmade, old school out here. Survival ain't about firepower. It's about how good you are at adapting to what you got, making do with scraps and grit. Young as he is, Spike takes his time packing his gear careful. He's got parts for a collapsible bow, a sharp dagger he keeps wicked clean, and one other thing, something different. A tiny Power Ranger doll, worn but precious. It ain't useful in a fight, no, but it means something, a piece of the world that used to be a piece of his childhood he's not ready to let go. He heads to the kitchen where his old man Jamie is waiting with breakfast, not just any breakfast, bacon, a rare treat nowadays. They sit and eat like it's just another morning. Jamie asks if he packed everything, including the blade. Spike nods. He's ready. Then they hear a noise. It's his mom. She's real sick. Jamie heads to her room, Spike following close behind. She says sorry for worrying them, gives Spike a hug and tells him her head's been pounding since dawn. She tries to stay strong, but the sickness shows all over her. Jamie explains the plan. Spike ain't going to school today. It's Friday. They're leaving the mainland. She panics, says he's just 12. She's not well, not in body or mind. Jamie don't budge. He walks out. Spike stays a little longer. He calms her better than his dad ever could. Before heading out, Spike leaves her a small piece of bacon wrapped up nice in a handkerchief. She's a bit disoriented, not all there, and asks him where he's going. He tells her he's headed to school just like that. That simple little lie puts her at ease. She nods, calms down. It's a soft goodbye full of love, worry, and that quiet kind of sadness that comes when you already know things ain't ever gonna be the same right before they leave the village. Sam, the neighbor who's known Spike since he was in diapers, walks over and hands the kid his very first bow. It ain't just a weapon, it's a symbol, you know, a mark that he's stepping into something bigger, growing up too fast, maybe, but growing up all the same. As Spike and his old man make their way through the village toward the edge, folks start coming out. Some shout words of encouragement, others just nod or raise a hand. Ain't nobody laughing or smiling. Everyone knows the deal. They get it. This ain't no stroll. It's a mission, one filled with risk and reasons. When they reach the gate where the safe zone ends and the real world begins, the community leader steps up. She don't sugarcoat it, tells Jamie straight, once you hit the mainland, that's it. No rescue, no coming back. Too many already tried, too many didn't make it, and she reminds them of the tide. When it's low, the path appears, but once it rises, it swallows everything, no second chances. One wrong move and you're gone. That's the cold truth. With all that heavy stuff weighing on their minds, father and son set out on foot, making their way toward the mainland. As they walk, they go over the basics one more time. The rules that might just keep them alive: gotta move slow, keep quiet, and stay sharp at all times. No second guessing. They both know once that tide comes rolling in, there ain't no heading back. Try to swim it, you're done. The current will rip you straight out of this world. No questions asked, no mercy. They got no guns, no backup, no high-tech gear, just blades, bows, and arrows, that's it. Old school survival in its rawest, most brutal form. While they keep moving, this eerie, haunting song starts playing, low, slow, and real unsettling. It sets the mood just right between each cautious step, flashes of twisted, mutated, infected cut through the silence. These ain't your average biters. Nah, these freaks are warped, bones sticking out, skin stretched wrong, eyes wild and crazy, twitching like they don't know what's real. Total unpredictability. These are the kinds Mike's gonna have to face, no question. The kid's mission, it's set in stone. He's got to take one down, one infected. It's like a rite of passage, a test to prove he's ready. Sounds simple on paper. All he's got to do is hit the head or the heart. One shot, one kill, no do-over, no second arrow. He's got to be fast, fearless, and dead on accurate. They keep going and every step makes the weight heavier on Spike's little shoulders. Then there it is, the first target, a slow one, fat, groaning like some sick pig. Time to see what the kid's really made of. This new variant, it ain't like the others. Its skin's all gray and slimy, covered in mold and thick, nasty drool. Thing moves all wrong, dragging itself along like some oversized worm, making your stomach turn just watching it. Spike reacts fast, pulls back and lets an arrow fly, hits it right in the neck, but it don't stop, not completely. It just keeps creeping. More of them show up, same slow, woozy crawl, but there's more and more. Numbers start building. Jamie, don't hesitate. Seen this before. With calm hands and sharp aim, he takes them out one by one before things get ugly, but the real gut punch comes next. They spot a kid, an infected one young. Spike freezes, lowers his bow. He can't do it, doesn't have to though. The group decides not to push through. They back off. No one wants to deal with that. The moment hits Spike hard, leaves something behind in his eyes. Still, he made it through his first real fight. That counts for something with new confidence in his old man beside him. They keep moving, heading deeper into the mainland. They pass a herd of deer running wild through the trees, a sign clear as day. Nature took over. Human stuff's all rust and rot. The animals don't miss us. Up ahead they find an old house, looks looted, maybe by folks like them. Still, maybe there's something left worth grabbing, so they go in, but then boom, the mood shifts. One room, one scene, a man hanging upside down by the ankles, dead quiet, real bad feeling. He's got letters carved deep into his chest, and together they spell just one name, Jimmy. The whole thing is gruesome, real disturbing to look at. It makes one thing painfully clear out here: it ain't just the infected you gotta watch out for. Jamie warns his kid, his voice firm and low, that people on the mainland, they ain't exactly the friendly type. A lot of folks, after being alone too long, losing everything, driven by fear or violence, they snap. They start doing horrible, sick things, things you wouldn't believe. Stuff that'll haunt your dreams. The message behind this body is clear as day. That poor guy hanging there, he was put up like that on purpose. Someone left him to turn. Jamie, not even blinking, tells Spike he's got to finish him off. Put him down before the change is done. It ain't just about safety, it's part of learning, part of surviving, no room for hesitation, no second chances. The scene gets real tense. You can feel it deep in your gut. Being out here means facing stuff way worse than any infected. Spike hesitates, but just for a split second, then he fires an arrow straight into the guy's skull right as he starts twitching, trying to break free. That shot stops him cold, keeps them both alive another day. With that done, Spike and Jamie keep moving, heading deeper into mainland territory, eyes wide, steps careful, then they spot something. What's left of a deer completely torn apart, scattered all over. At first it don't seem like much, could be scavengers, maybe infected, or maybe something else entirely, something way worse. But man, everything changes real quick when Spike spots that deer's head hanging way up high in a tree. That little detail, even though it's small, sends a loud message. It means there's an alpha close by. Now alphas, they're brand new to this whole infected game, introduced for the very first time in this movie. Think of them like supercharged shadows, ultra tough, crazy fast, and seriously brutal. The kind of threat they bring is way above what you'd expect from regular infected, according to what the community's learned over time. Taking down one of these monsters means pumping at least a dozen arrows straight into their chest. Their strength and speed. Forget about handling them without some solid prep and a smart strategy. They're damn near impossible to beat if you ain't ready. So Jamie and Spike, knowing full well how dangerous this is, try to get out of there as fast as their legs can carry them. But just when they think they might make it, they catch sight of the alpha in the distance, and it ain't just one. There's a whole freaking horde of infected running full tilt. Right at him, the scene turns into complete chaos around the community. Folks say the rabies virus acts like steroids for some infected, making them bulk up with bigger muscles, sharper reflexes, and an aggression level that's just off the charts. Jamie quickly huddles with Spike to hash out a plan. It's simple but effective. Run and shoot, keep moving so they don't get surrounded and overwhelmed. It's a desperate fight for survival, and every second counts. But the kid, man, he totally freaks out. Even with all the training he's had, he can't land a single shot, not one. The pressure is just too much and fear's got the best of him. The infected are closing in fast, moving like a pack of wild dogs, and both of them got to fight back any way they can. But there's just too many of those things, and the whole situation starts spiraling way out of control real quick. In the chaos, they manage to haul their asses back to that old abandoned house, barely making. Inside they locked themselves up in the attic with everything they can find, throwing heavy furniture and whatever else they got against the doors and windows, trying to build up at least some kind of temporary safety barrier. Meanwhile, from a hill nearby, the Alpha's just watching them quietly. He ain't moving, but his presence is loud and clear, dangerous as hell. With no other option, and the infected swarm getting thicker, they decide to tough it out there for the night, waiting for the chaos to die down. They know they can't risk going back to the island yet. Crossing now would be suicide, too dangerous, too impossible. As darkness falls, Spike spots a huge bonfire flickering way off in the distance. Curious, he asks his pops what it could be, but Jamie just shrugs. He's never been that far and doesn't recognize any signs of other groups out there. That night, Spike gets slammed by a nightmare, sees his mother drowning in some dark, awful scene that shakes him to his core. He wakes up jolted, but the real terror, it's what's waiting for him come morning. Because the house was so old and beat up, a part of it just suddenly gives way and collapses right under their feet. They barely manage to get out in time, but that close call forces them to make a quick decision. They got to get back to the island as fast as they possibly can. Luckily, the tide's low enough now to make the crossing safely. Father and son don't waste no time. They start heading back, moving fast, not looking back once, but they didn't count on one thing. The Alpha's sharp, and he notices. Their moves quick as lightning. Right when Jamie's patting his son on the back saying how proud he is of what Spike pulled off out on the mainland, a whole flock of birds suddenly bursts into the air with a loud commotion. That's no coincidence. That's a straight-up warning sign. The Alpha's coming at him full speed, chasing him down hard. The tension's thick as they haul us toward the island's entrance. They make it just in the nick of time and manage to send word up to the lookout tower. Community reacts instantly. From the top of the wall, the Watchers unleash a storm of arrows right at the Alpha, trying to hold him back before it's too late, but it ain't until a flaming arrow nails the Alpha dead center that he finally goes down. The monster crashes hard after that hit, and the whole community breathes a big sigh of relief. When Spike returns, the celebration kicks off and everyone's showering him with props for his guts and for making it through his first trip off the island alive. Jamie, don't waste no time bragging about his kid in front of the whole crowd, talking up every little detail of the trip and how Spike handled himself when things got real dangerous. He's loud and proud, making sure everyone hears just how brave and sharp his boy was out there in the thick of it. But right smack in the middle of the party, Spike sees something that freezes him cold. He spots his dad sneaking off with this woman named Emma. The whole scene hits him like a brick wall. He's shocked, hurt, and don't know what to make of it without saying a word. Spike heads home alone trying to sort through all those messy feelings. When he gets there, his neighbor Sam's waiting. Sam can tell something's wrong right away and sits with Spike, calm and steady, trying to comfort him. Spike tells Sam how worried he is about his mom, Isla. Instead of getting better, she just keeps getting worse every day and it's eating him up inside. Sam then tells him about Dr. Ian Kelson, a doctor who was once famous for his skill, someone who might have helped Isla, but that doc went crazy years ago. Pulled away from everybody, disappeared into nowhere. What really grabs Spike's attention is when he mentions the bonfire he saw from the attic. Sam's eyes go wide. If that fire is burning, it means Kelson's still alive, still out there somewhere. That news flips everything. There might still be hope for Isla if they find that doctor. The next day, Jamie stumbles home drunk, and Spike, fed up with the silence, calls him out, accusing him of cheating on his mom and hiding the truth about the doctor. Jamie, trapped and cornered, finally admits that yeah, he did meet the doctor years ago during some expedition out on the mainland. He remembers finding the guy surrounded by bodies lined up neat and tidy like some kind of sick experiment. Dude was still wearing his doctor's uniform, looking totally cold and indifferent to all the death around him. That whole scene shook him so bad they decided never to go back there again. Jamie thought it was better to just forget the whole thing, but now he's starting to realize maybe that was a big mistake, but Spike, he's already made up his mind. He's taking his mom straight to that doctor no matter what warnings or fears come his way. On top of that, he tells his dad to back off, leave him alone. In a desperate move, Spike even pulls out a knife to threaten him, but Jamie, stronger and way more experienced, disarms the kid without breaking a sweat. Instead of punishing him though, Jamie just hands the knife back pissed off and storms out of the house without saying another word. With his plan set, Spike lights up the community's supplies on fire to cause a big distraction. The smoke and chaos give him the perfect chance to slip away with his mom toward the mainland. He moves fast, taking advantage of the confusion before anyone even notices. When Ella, weak from her sickness, realizes where they are, she gets scared, but Spike tries to calm her down, telling her everything's gonna be all right. All he wants is to get to that doctor so she can get better. As night falls, they stop in a wooded area to catch a break. They set up a quick makeshift camp, getting ready to spend the night out in the open. But that very night, one of those creepy crawling zombies looking like giant worms sneaks up close, real quiet, like just when it's about to strike Spike, who's out cold. Isla reacts just in time and takes the thing down. If she hadn't been there, Spike could be toast by now, no doubt about it. Meanwhile, somewhere else on the mainland, a group of soldiers is trying to break free from a swarm of infected and a new alpha on their tail. The chase is savage. One by one they fall, no match for the brutal attack. In the end, there's only one survivor left, all alone and hurt, barely hanging on. Not far from a river in a totally different scene, another bunch of infected looks like they're taking a slow, creepy bath. They move sluggish, almost like they still got a tiny bit of humanity left. The creepiest part, one of them is pregnant, her belly swollen and obvious. That sight turns up the uneasy to a whole new level. The big question is, did she get pregnant before she got infected, or have the infected somehow started being able to reproduce now? The threat's definitely evolving. Spike and Isla keep pushing forward. Their journey across the mainland stays dangerous and brutal. Isla, worn down by her strange sickness, starts having hallucinations while they walk. Lost in her confusion, she remembers stories about her dad, little pieces of her life before the infection took over and the world fell apart. From way off, Spike spots a skinny, crawling, infected dragging itself across the ground. Without thinking twice, he nails it with an arrow, but the thud of the body hits the dirt loud enough to catch the attention of other zombies nearby. In no time at all, the kid and his pops find themselves chased by a small group of infected moving fast and closing in quick. Looking for a quick place to hide, they duck into an old gas station long abandoned and left to rot for years. The place is filled with trapped gas, making it tough to breathe and forcing them to move slow and careful. The situation turns real tense when those zombies start closing in on them. Just when things are about to get ugly, a soldier shows up out of nowhere, setting fire to the infected from outside and saving their skins just in time. This guy introduces himself as Eric. He tells them he was on a boat that got wrecked near the mainland because of some nasty waves. Even though he made it, he brings terrible news. Once you step foot on the island, you ain't never getting out. The routes are either watched tight or just straight up impossible to cross. There's no way back. As they keep moving, Isla starts getting a bit better. She's got some strength back and can walk steadier now, but something messes with her head. A weird scream pulls her to an old train covered in thick vines nearly hidden in the trees, and inside, to her surprise, she finds that pregnant infected woman Spike saw earlier sitting there like a ghost. Without a second thought, Isla decides to help the woman give birth. The whole thing's tense as hell, but finally the baby's born healthy. For a moment it looks like things might settle down. But then, as soon as the mother sits up, her first move is to attack. That infected instinct kicks in way stronger than anything else. Eric doesn't hesitate for a second. He takes her out right away. The threat's gone, but the whole scene leaves a heavy mark on everyone there. Then Eric demands Isla drop the baby. He calls it a monster, saying it could be a danger to everyone around, but Isla stands firm, protecting the newborn with all she's got, convinced that the kid's no threat at all. Right then, out of nowhere, another alpha shows up and rips Eric's head clean off in a savage, brutal instant. The whole thing's fast and vicious. Spike and Isla don't waste a second. They run for their lives, not looking back, chased by that creature. Just as they're about to get caught, the dog Kelson appears like some kind of He's packing a blowpipe loaded with morphine and shoots the alpha dead on, calming it down enough to knock it out. The infected crashes to the ground, sedated for now. Kelson wastes no time, grabs Eric's head, and leads Spike and Isla through the woods to his hideout, a spot deep in the forest that's as creepy as it gets. The duck's place is macabre as hell. His refuge is surrounded by human bone totems, and there's this huge pyramid built out of skulls, real nightmare fuel. Kelson doesn't hold back at all when he shows them his whole creepy collection, all while he's rubbing iodine all over his body like it's some kind of armor or shield. According to him, that iodine acts like a protective barrier because the virus absolutely hates it. It can't stand the stuff. This strange little ritual, yeah, it's part of his daily routine, no exceptions. Every single day without fail after he cremates Eric's remains, Kelson hands the skull over to Spike and tells him to put it wherever he thinks fits best in that creepy twisted pyramid made out of bones. Spike, still shocked and kind of quiet, does exactly what the doc says, not saying a word. Then the doctor moves on to check out the baby after a real careful, thorough look. He confirms the kid ain't infected. Turns out the placenta did its job protecting the fetus inside. It means the virus can't pass through during pregnancy. That's a huge important discovery, but there ain't no time for celebrations or relief just yet. Later on, Kelson examines Isla. His face turned serious real quick as he digs deeper into the diagnosis. After a tense, heavy moment, he finally breaks the bad news. The sickness is way too far gone. The virus has wrecked her body and her mind, and even though she's still lucid sometimes, the damage is clear as day. Isla's condition is critical and time's definitely running out fast. She's got cancer, it's advanced, aggressive, and it could have started in her brain and spread through her body, or maybe the other way around. Either way, it's tearing her apart slowly but surely. It ain't exactly clear where it all started, what the exact point of origin was, but one thing's absolutely sure, there ain't no cure coming for this sickness. The disease has gone way too far, progressed too much. Treatments, forget about it, ain't no medical option left that can reverse or even slow down what's happening inside her body, no matter how hard they try. Spike's begging the doctor to do something to save his mom, but Isla, she already knew deep down she'd been suspecting it for a long time. Before any tests or scans could tell them for sure, her body and mind told her, way ahead of any analysis or words. She accepts it calm, with a peace and a quiet courage that only comes from facing death head-on and deciding not to run away no matter what. Everyone's gonna die one day. It ain't a question of if, it's when, and how it happens, for I'd love that moment's finally come. But the how, that's still something she can choose. There are ways to go that don't mean suffering or drawn-out pain and agony, and that's exactly why Dr. Kelson's there to make sure she don't have to go through hell. He's got the means, the knowledge, and the compassion to give her a dignified, peaceful goodbye. No pain, no fear, no torment. In a scene thick with heavy emotion, Kelson stays by her side. They're surrounded by these eerie sculptures made from bones in this quiet, still place that feels frozen in time. Surrounded by those lifeless forms, Isla receives euthanasia gently, peacefully with dignity. It's an act of love, respect, and pure mercy. Meanwhile, Spike's been sedated. They gave him a strong tranquilizer to spare him the unbearable pain of watching his mom pass away right in front of him. When he finally wakes up, it's all done, all over, but he ain't left empty-handed. Kelson hands him Isla's skull, and Spike takes it with deep respect, almost like it's something sacred. Then in a symbolic and deeply personal moment, he places it right up top on that eerie bone pyramid. That's his way of saying goodbye, paying tribute, giving his final farewell in his own way. With the break of dawn, things take another wild turn. The Alpha, the most dangerous infected creature of the bunch, comes back wild and totally out of control, ready to attack Kelson, who's vulnerable at that moment. But Spike acts fast without hesitating. He grabs one of the doctor's sedatives and jams it straight into the zombie. He manages to stop it dead in its tracks, saving Kelson's life. Just in the nick of time. After that close call, the doctor looks Spike in the eye and tells him it's time to move on. Together they walk to the edge of their territory, taking the baby with them. When they get there, they leave the kid at the entrance of the community along with a note Kelson wrote. The note says, "Go your way, I'll go mine." It's a final goodbye, but it ain't bitter or sad. It's the end of one chapter and the start of something new. The baby gets welcomed in and is named after his mother, Asla. Jamie's trying to reach Spike from the other side, but the tide's way too high, blocking him from crossing. All he can do is shout, yelling as loud as he can, but it's useless. Spike's already gone, vanished like smoke. Meanwhile, while Spike's out there cooking a fish all by himself, something real worrying pops up. A lone infected sneaks up on him. Spike doesn't hesitate. He takes the thing out quick, but then more starts. Growing up coming at him fast, he's in real danger of getting surrounded, caught with nowhere to run. Just when things look darkish, someone appears. It's Jimmy, the kid from the start, but now grown up, no longer a kid, but the leader of a whole other community. He's rocking his dad's crucifix but flipped upside down. Jimmy gives Spike props for making it through alive and offers him a spot with his people, a new place to call home. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.